When Trump got into office, the first thing he started to do is talk about economics. And I said, that's the wrong approach. Yeah, when you have a full belly, you can do a lot more, then you can, it's the first survival instinct. You got to nourish yourself. There's some truth to that, but I was concerned that there was no principle being taught, that he was not standing for principles or teaching them. And that's really where we were lacking. Remember, Jesus said, when they asked him what he was going to eat, he said, I have bread that you know not of. And that, we need to feed our spirits even more than our bodies. And that was totally absent at the beginning of Trump's presidency. And that was one of the signs to me that there was something wrong. Trump, his name at the Golan Heights, as I've said, was spelled with a tet, meaning serpent. And I don't think that was an accident. I'm not sure how far down the road he is or what it is he is, but he believes that he's got the right to do what he's doing. And if you read the ancient texts, the evil side thinks it's doing right. It doesn't really think it's doing evil. It's so debased and has such a lack of character that it thinks that it can do what it does and that that's okay. Trump said it himself. He's never done anything he needs to repent of. It's all about him. Everything that he's exhibited, I'm afraid to say, everything has actually been of the dark side. It's actually been of the Luciferian side. I'm not saying he's the Antichrist, but something's terribly, terribly wrong. Yeah, the whole world's against him. How could he be? Well, these types of things can change very quickly depending upon how they're presented to the people. And I think we might see a change one way or another here before too long. But regardless, the spirit of the Antichrist is everywhere. The governments aren't going to save you. They're part of the problem, as I said. We've gotten ourselves in a situation where we haven't demanded that the government submit itself to the supreme law of the land that gave it breath in the first place. That's the Constitution. And we violated ourselves. As Mark Pantano points out, we're constitutionalists until our guy gets in there, and then the Constitution be damned. Let's just do it, right? Well, that's what happens when you lose principle. It's more important to have principle in your heart and mind than it is to have almost anything else. Well, I'm rambling on a little bit. I just wanted to let you know that I haven't forgotten that I suppose I should be on here from time to time. But if you have time to spend with family and friends, ladies and gentlemen, I suggest you do it. They're coming for you. They're coming for us. What is it? They're figuring that 20 million people are going to receive eviction notices here the next 30 days because of this bullshit. Trump closing the economy down. You know what? He could not have been that stupid. But it was a good front. It was a good character. It was a good play that we have to do this, but only for a couple of weeks. And I said at the time, they've got us where they want us now. Why would they let us out? I think the timetable has been moved up very quickly. And I think we're going to see some really horrible things happen in the next 2 to 3 months. Not just the Antifa and the BLM, who are Marxist, Maoist controlled organizations, but from our own government that has now enlisted itself in the government of Satan. Looks like the Khomeinis in Iran were correct all along, huh? Yeah, looks like it. Okay, that's all I got this morning. Like I said, maybe next week I'll be on either Tuesday or Thursday on a formal. I really want to talk about this principle thing because that's where we're lacking the most right now. Nancy, I want to thank you for those two. Well, actually, I thank you for all of your posts. But those last two were magnificent, and they're true. And yeah, they're going to stir up people who don't want to believe that. And like I said, I have some very, very good friends, Republican insiders. And they wouldn't want to hear that. But it's true, and we just have to face it. And I'm glad that you have the courage to do that. You and Mark Pantano, and there are a few others. I'm very disappointed with Alex Jones, of course. No, don't talk about Alex Jones. Don't talk about Alex. Alex talks about all the bad people in the government, but he just will not call out Trump. He just won't. Because he knows that he'll lose too many of his followers if he does that, and he'll lose his financial support, I suppose. And I can kind of understand that. But even he's saying it's time to head for the hills, time to go out in the country. I don't know if he'll really do it or not, but it is time. I don't know what the answer is. People tell me all the time, well, Roy, if you think it's so bad, what is your solution? Well, you see, that's kind of where we are. It says that man won't come up with a solution to this. There are two entities that are going to come up to solutions for this. One's an evil one that's going to promise you. As a matter of fact, I put this out on Twitter last night. When Jesus was tempted by the devil, his last temptation was, he takes him up to a high mountain. He says, look, all of this I will give you. Isn't that what Trump said? I'm going to fix your 401ks. I'm going to make it economically good. You're going to do good temporally. That's that thing that the devil did to Jesus on the mountain. I will give all of this to you. It was always ours. They took it from us and then pretended to give it to us. So there are two entities. The evil side that's going to come up with a solution here in the very near future, present himself in the very near future and come up with a solution worldwide. And then the real one. I wish it was reversed, but it isn't. So keep your eyes on the horizon, your ears to the ground, your situational awareness on high. Yes, be armed. Prep, pray, stay out of the way. Take whatever defensive actions that you need to. This is going to be bad.